Hello, I'm John Groders, a producer for the Reformed Church in America. And I'm here to show you where we've come in the past 3 years through the program known as Putting People in Mission. PPIM has enabled ministries from Staten Island, New York to Apple Valley, California, from Grimsby, Ontario, Canada to the coastal waters of Alaska and even the arid cities of Ethiopia. Today, over 100 different projects are reaching out in the name of Christ, and you, the people of the Reformed Church in America, are responsible. You have dreamed of these solutions and pledged to support them. You have worked hard to move each of them forward. I've visited many of these PPIM sites with a video camera, and through the first 3 Putting People in Mission videos, I've tried to introduce you to some of the projects and people which make putting people in mission so vital and so effective. We have seen agricultural training in Chiapas, Mexico, where farmers who have for years been destroying the land, which is their only livelihood, are today learning that there are better ways to preserve that land, their food supply, and their future.
The male part of the plant is here, in the tassel. And so you've got to control the male if you want to improve the corn. So we're teaching them to detassel poor plants, just to leave tassels on the good plants, so that any crossing that happens is through good plants.
We have seen ministry in prison and ministry to persons who have been released from prison, so that when they re-enter the world, there can be some love and assistance.
Through these past years, I think Reverend DeYoung, or Don, I call him Rev, and his church and his people have visited me in jail. They've helped my family when my little girl was sick. And I guess the best thing that I liked about it was I could introduce them as being doers, not sayers. And I think in prison you find that means a whole lot.
We have visited lay training programs which not only train people to be of help to others, but which by the very nature of their training make life more meaningful and fruitful for those who are now trained, equipped to make a difference in their community.
Sometimes it gets to the point where it's just I go to work, do what I can, and I can't wait to come home, I can't wait for the weekend. Sometimes it's really stressful. So it's nice to have something else in your life to help relax you and give you an ultimate goal, I think.
On the campus of New Brunswick Theological Seminary, we have witnessed the renovation of older buildings into remodeled, useful housing units where many students will have a sense of home while they prepare for a career in ministry.
Oh man, it's beautiful. The first time I walked in there after I got back from the summer, I couldn't believe it was the same house. The feeling in the dorm is not run down. It's not a run-down feeling. And I think that can affect your attitude.
We have seen projects in each of PPIM's 3 broad categories: preparing people for mission, sending people into mission, and providing facilities for people in mission.
Through the Urban Leadership Program of the Other Way Ministries in Grand Rapids, Michigan, young people are spending a year living, learning, and working in an urban setting. Through the On the Way program, 368 churches are now involved, equipping members to reach out and share the gospel. The Ephesus 2 Lay Training Course has had over 75 people involved in its program, training lay people for para-professional ministry in their own congregations.
Good morning, Mrs. Marita Duke. I'm Gordy Plegamars, and I'm calling on behalf of Christ Community Church.
The Synod of the Great Lakes has sponsored 8 phone-a-thons. Over 125 lay people have been involved in making telephone calls, assisting new congregations to identify prospective members.
I received a brochure from us in the mail about a week ago or so.
65 students are under the care of the Theological Education Agency program in preparation for ministry in the Reformed Church. Western Seminary in Holland, Michigan is providing $75,000 in financial aid to international students from across the world. Jim Boltman, president at Northwestern College, reports that our 3 RCA colleges are supporting minority and international students, providing them with a quality, Christian liberal arts education. This pilot TV spot has been produced and tested in several markets.
I talked to my mother on the phone last night. I just don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where we'll find the money to get her the care she needs. We're completely stretched out already. You know, sometimes I feel so guilty. Maybe we should never have moved.
People of faith, sharing the pressures of life. The Reformed Church in America.
Judy, thanks for caring.
Just think of what a difference all these people who otherwise might not have been trained for ministry will make in the world. You know, a total of 56 PPIM projects, including 21 new church starts, involve actually sending people into mission. Some of the most recent include 29 high school students who were sent into mission this past summer through a PPIM-supported youth program called 2x2 to Witness.
By the end of the weeks that we were there, we really realized that we had touched a lot of people's lives and that we really helped out.
It also was just a great opportunity for me to be able to do something for God as well as for me.
I have a lot more questions now, I think, about my future and what I'm going to do, because before I was just going to be a teacher and that was that. Now I'd like to get into ministry. I don't know what God wants me to do, but I know that whatever it is, I want to do it, kind of thing.
Let's look at a sample of the other projects PPIM has supported which send people into mission.
Since PPIM began, the Restore program in Kalamazoo, Michigan has worked with over 120 inmates at West Michigan correctional facilities, as well as with 12 ex-offenders, assisting them in their return to the community after incarceration.
And Vern started coming on a regular basis to see me in prison, as I mentioned before. And there seemed to be we just developed starting of a great relationship.
A temporary emergency shelter for adults, the Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless also provides counseling, education, recreation programs, and food for homeless persons of the Albany, New York area.
So we believe that the old Sage Library needs a bit of a new face by having resources, books, and periodicals that all of the students, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, can draw upon in their preparation for ministry.
Approximately 400 books and periodicals dealing with racial and ethnic themes have been added at the New Brunswick Theological Seminary Library. Through the new position of Coordinator of Ministries by and for older adults, Carolyn Babinski is assisting older members of the RCA to serve their churches and community. At Oklahoma State University, Tom and Liz Stewart have developed a training program for congregations who want to begin a ministry to international students from nearby colleges and universities. Through a program called LAMP, the Lutheran Association of Missionary Pilots, PPIM is supporting Roger Vegdahl, a missionary pilot who visits remote villages and islands in Alaska. Through the PPIM China Teacher Scholar Exchange, Ruth Wu, a student from Beijing, is now studying at Central College in Pella, Iowa. And Carol and Randall Broxmar are going to China. PPIM helped Carol receive her master's degree in teaching English as a second language from Michigan State University. Dr. Bernadette Bent has been appointed as a World Mission Program Associate to serve in Nicaragua, giving medical care in an area devastated by the Contra Sandinista War. Ryan and Donna Renes have moved into a Tojolabal village in Chiapas, Mexico, in preparation for translating the Old Testament into the Tojolabal language. PPIM is helping the Institute for Development Training, or IDT, improve health care in developing countries. Through the leadership of RCA missionary Chuck Auscherman, IDT is able to train local health workers in women's health and family planning. And 17 new church development projects are underway with the help of PPIM funding, including the Manorville Community Church on Long Island, the Forest View Community Church in Grimsby, Ontario, the Taiwanese American Reformed Church in Queens, New York, and the St. Croix Reformed Church in the Virgin Islands.
Thy kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endureth throughout all generations.
Providing facilities for people in mission has been the third emphasis of PPIM. In places where people needed space, PPIM has helped to provide it so that they could continue to carry on their good work. And one example of just such a scenario is in Apopka, Florida.
Loaves and Fishes is a Christian organization that is here to help the needy of the Apopka area.
Well, I came by to get a little extra food to help out with my family. I'm in construction, so it's either feast or famine. Saturday I couldn't walk because I worked so hard. I couldn't walk. And some days I can't work, and so I come by here and I get a little supplement, and it helps out a lot.
We have approximately 800 families a week that we provide food assistance, clothing, household items, prescriptions, rent assistance, counseling and prayer too.
A lot of people's needed stuff, and it helped a lot of people's out. Now this helped me out because I was sick and went in the hospital, and I didn't have no job, and I came up here, and it's helped me out a lot.
Thank you, Eric.
Just do it. The famous shoe company slogan urges us to stop just thinking and start acting. At the Loaves and Fishes in Apopka, Florida, Director Laura Jakerson and her volunteer staff are doing it. This small center manages to receive, sort, organize, and distribute food and household items to about 4,000 people each week. Each day, volunteers arrive early and begin unloading vans, cars, and trucks stocked with donated items from nearby stores and farms. But as soon as most of the workers have arrived, they pause to make a circle and begin the day together in prayer.
We are so thankful to you for sending us all of these wonderful volunteers to help to do your work.
Well, if I didn't volunteer, I'd be sitting home watching television. I volunteered this job because I can sit down all day. I've got a pacemaker and a new knee joint, and so I can't do an awful lot of walking around or running and fetching, but I can sit down, and the Lord gave me 2 arms I can use.
And as far as clients, we help about 200 families each day.
All right, so there you are.
That's about 2,200 children.
Before this happened, we didn't have anything, so this is a good organization, and I hope that people keep on, supporting it, because it's really good.
Without Loaves and Fishes, I really believe that a lot of these people in the area would go hungry. I believe that the children would not have the clothing and the shoes and the school supplies that they needed to start school with. And I think that if everybody in the world chipped in and helped, there wouldn't be a hunger problem anywhere.
Loaves and Fishes is one of the 100 ministry projects supported by the Putting People in Mission Fund Drive of the Reformed Church in America. With the help of PPIM, Loaves and Fishes will be able to move into a much more adequate facility, one with about 4,000 square feet of space, as opposed to the 900 square feet they now have.
We're hoping to have GED classes to help them receive some of their diplomas. We're going to help them with their literacy. We're going to have hygiene and health classes. We'll help them with parenting. We hope to have Alcoholics Anonymous meet there, and we're also hoping to have some type of drug education on the premises.
In addition to what?
In addition to food and clothing and everything that we do now.
Loaves and Fishes, serving people physically caring for them spiritually. Through Putting People in Mission, our denomination is playing a part in ministries like this all throughout the United States and Canada and in many other countries as well.
This is the House of Miracles in here. You never want for something, but a couple of days, a couple of hours even later, you'll get them.
No kidding.
And the Lord provides, I guess.
The Loaves and Fishes Center illustrates why providing facilities for people in mission is more than just a building fund. It really is a mission fund. Here are a few more examples.
Construction will soon begin on a new PPIM-funded audiovisual center in Chiapas, Mexico.
A place for the printing press, a place for putting the books together, for doing the binding of the books, and then this whole area in here is where we have a place to do the recording, and then we have a little shop here to do repair work on equipment, and then we'll also have a place where we can sell.
In January 1992, the family of Pastor Roberto Garcia moved into the 66 by 34-foot modular home that was placed on the property of the Faith Reformed Church in Norwalk, California. At the same time that the parsonage was moved onto the property, the parking lot was graded, resurfaced, and landscaped. Funding was provided by PPIM. The Warwick Conference Center has completed the remodeling of the West House using funds provided by PPIM. A complete new heating, plumbing, and electrical system has been installed. The Way Out Ministry brings the gospel of Christ to the streets of the gang-infested community of Hawaiian Gardens, California. Currently, the search is on for a suitable building for an expanded ministry. The Preschool Daycare Center of Lincoln Avenue Reformed Church in Pomona, California employs 4 Christian teachers and provides a stable and wholesome environment for over 50 young children every day.
Daycare of the young people is something that was needed in this area.
PPIM dollars have helped renovate the shell of an old, abandoned gymnasium, and the new McKee Community Center opened its doors this spring. The center provides a place for recreation and programs for youth throughout Jackson County.
It's just impossible to show all the projects and ministries which have flourished because of PPIM in the last 3 years. But at the 1992 General Synod in Albany, New York, representatives from each of the PPIM projects gathered to share about their work in an exciting evening celebration. The General Synod warmly congratulated and embraced the far-reaching ministries of PPIM, and that night, many felt that Putting People in Mission truly demonstrated what our denominational crest has long proclaimed: in unity, there's strength.
Well, it sounds to me like you've described a virile, active, dedicated organization that wants to grow and touch more and more people. It has the seeds of adventure, and that would reach my stony heart.
3 years ago, when PPIM was presented to the RCA, we responded by pledging a total of $15.2 million over a 3-year period. Over 700 churches participated, and of them, 387 have already fulfilled their pledges. In fact, many have exceeded their pledges. PPIM has generated significantly more than any fund drive in the history of our denomination, and for that, great thanks are in order. But we are not finished. So far, we have actually raised $11.6 million. It's pretty good. But we are awaiting the final $3.6 million, and we need to honor that commitment. Each PPIM ministry is counting on us to finish what we have started.